My sister's son threw her cake in my face. I don't want clowns at my birthday party. Everyone laughed, so I wiped myself off and told his mom, then I don't want non-payers in my house. Move out, and I changed the locks. I'm Wanda. I'm 33. I'm the older sister, the one with the mortgage, the steady accounting job, and the side hustle nobody respects. On weekends, I paint my face and make balloon dogs because kids' parties pay better than people think. My sister Jess is 29. She and her son Leo, who just turned 7, moved into my spare room for a few months. It's been 8. On Leo's birthday, my backyard turned into a party zone. Balloons on the fence, folding chairs from the garage, Costco hot dogs, the bounce house I booked with my own card. I pulled on my clown wig because Jess said, "Come on, it'll be cute and it's free." I did the bit. Big shoes, squeaky horns, silly voices. Kids squealed. I was sweating under the paint, but I was trying. Then Leo took a chunk of cake in his little hand, stared right at me, and pitched it into my face. "I don't want clowns at my birthday party," he yelled, frosting splattering onto my cheeks into my eyelashes. People laughed, not just kids, grown adults. I stood there sticky and blinking. I wiped my eyes and looked for Jess. She was laughing too. 8 months earlier, Jess showed up with 3 duffel bags, a box of shoes, and Leo holding a stuffed dinosaur. Her boyfriend had cheated. She said, "Just until I figure things out." I said yes because she's my sister and because Leo calls me Auntie Ma. We agreed on $400 a month plus half the utilities. "Easy," she said, "as soon as I start getting shifts." She was between jobs and had ideas. Nails, lashes, maybe a TikTok shop. I tried to be supportive. "I'll help with a budget," I offered. She waved it off. "Don't be weird." Month 1, nothing. "I'm getting on my feet," she said. Month 2, she Venmo'd me $50 with a burger emoji. Month 3, everything got complicated. My electric bill doubled because everyone lived at home with the AC blasting. My grocery bill tripled. I'd come home to empty cheese wrappers and a sticky juice river on the counter. My toilet was running. My internet plan had to be upgraded because of Leo's school Zoom and Jess's streaming. I picked up more party gigs to cover the gap. I told myself it was temporary. I put on wigs and painted smiles and let kids shout in my face for extra cash. It was fine, I said. Family helps family. Every time I tried to talk to Jess, it was a fight. "Can we set a payment plan?" I asked. "Don't nickel and dime me," she said. "It's not like you're poor." "I'm not rich either," I said. "I have a mortgage." "Okay, Miss Spreadsheet," she said, rolling her eyes. She borrowed my car for a quick errand and came back 3 hours later empty tank. My Tupperware disappeared. My bath towels were permanently damp. Leo left Legos in this hallway in the exact spot I walked at night. I stepped on them, bit my tongue, and swallowed the scream. Mom told me to be kind. "She's going through so much," she said. "You're the stable one, Wanda." I became the stable one with credit card debt. When Jess asked if she could host Leo's birthday at my place, I said yes, because saying no felt like war. I said, "We'll need to keep it small." "Okay, I can't afford a big thing." She nodded. "Totally." Then she added people to a group chat. 20 people became 30. Her friend Talia volunteered playlist vibes, which meant 2 portable speakers and a lot of bass. Jess said, "You can do your clown thing right. Leo loves balloons." "I usually charge," I started. She wrinkled her nose. "You're going to charge your own nephew." That shut me up. I booked the bounce house because the kids needed to be contained. Jess promised, "I'll Venmo you my half tonight." She didn't. The night before, she texted, "OMG, I forgot." The morning of my Venmo was still empty. I went to Costco loaded up on soda chips and a tray of cupcakes. Jess said her friend would handle the cake. Her friend showed up an hour late with a fondant thing shaped like a dinosaur that looked like a lumpy crocodile. It cost $95. She handed me the receipt like it was a trophy. Jess said, "You got it right, sis," and laughed like it was a joke. I didn't laugh. By the time the party started, I had spent the whole morning inflating balloons, setting up tables, and wiping ketchup off my own lawn chairs. Jess floated, hugging people and squealing. I kept seeing my sink full of dishes and my credit card balance. Then I put on the wig. I told myself, just get through the hour. Do the routine. Kids will be happy. You're good at this. You can take a deep breath later. And then the cake hit my face and everyone laughed. The frosting felt like glue on my skin. For a second, I couldn't see. The laughter stung worse than the sugar. I blinked, wiped my eyes with the back of my glove, and my glove turned pink. Leo was smirking, waiting for someone to high-five him. Jess was doubled over, actually wheezing. Talia had her phone out. "Do it again," someone yelled. I took off the glove. "Hey," I said, voice a little shaky. "Not cool." "He's a kid," Jess said, still laughing. "He learned that somewhere," I said, quieter. The backyard went weirdly silent. You could hear the bounce house blower. A bee looped around a soda can. Leo stared at me like I was an alien. He said, "I don't want clowns." Repeated it, testing the power of it. I looked at the mess on the patio table. Greasy plates, half-eaten hot dogs, red cups. I looked at my house, my one steady thing. My chest hurt in that dull way that means anger is trying to settle in your throat. I said, "I'm going inside to wash this off." In the bathroom, I saw myself in the mirror. Streaky makeup frosting in my hair, eyes tired in a way makeup can't hide. I tried to laugh at myself. It came out like a cough. I turned on the faucet and remembered the last water bill, the one I paid alone. I remembered Jess saying, "You're dramatic." I heard a knock on the door. "Auntie Mar, are you mad?" Leo's voice small now. "I'll be out in a minute," I said. He walked away. I cleaned my face slowly. I took off the wig and put it on the toilet tank. I pressed a towel to my eyes. My brain was loud. This is your house. This is your sink. You bought the cake plates. You bought the napkins. You booked the bounce house. You paid the electric. You paid the internet. You let them live here for 8 months. And they laughed. When I came back out, Jess was by the cake talking loudly to no one. "She's sensitive," she said, like I wasn't there. "I'm right here," I said. Jess shrugged, and I took a breath. My hands were shaking a little. I said, "Party's over." There was a weird chorus of what and huh and relax. I didn't raise my voice. "Party's over. Everyone, thank you for coming. Grab your kids. Please clean up your trash and head out. Now." Talia gave me a look. "It's a child's birthday." "Yes," I said, "in my house that I pay for." Leo's bottom lip wobbled. "Did I ruin it?" I knelt eye to eye. Throwing cake at people isn't okay. Words like that aren't okay. You can be mad or bored, but you don't get to be mean. Jess jumped in. "He's 7, Wanda." "And you're 29 inches, I said. "You don't get to be mean either." Silence again. Someone started picking up plates. A couple of moms grabbed their kids. The bounce house deflated like a sad marshmallow. Jess followed me to the kitchen. "You're making a scene." "This is my kitchen," I said. "The scene is already made." She crossed her arms. "You're seriously going to ruin Leo's birthday over some frosting? Wow." I opened a drawer and pulled out a notepad. I wrote numbers. Rent agreed, $400 x 8 = $3,200. Utilities half. I wrote the totals and her half, $850. Groceries. She promises to cover 1 week a month. 5 missed, about $300. Bounce house, $180. Cake, she said I'd got $95. Total $4,625. I slid the paper across. "You owe me this." She stared at it and laughed like I'd handed her a menu. "Are you crazy?" "I have receipts and bank statements," I said. "I've asked you nicely. I've been patient. You mock me. Your son throws cake at me in my own yard and you laugh." "He's a kid," she repeated. "And you're an adult," I said. My voice was flat now. "If you don't want clowns in your life, then I don't want non-payers in my house." She blinked. "What did you just say?" "Move out," I said calmly. "Tonight you can stay in a hotel or at Mom's. Tomorrow we'll pack your things. I won't be treated like this in my own home." Her mouth dropped open. "You're kicking out your nephew on his birthday." "I'm telling his mother to be responsible." She shook her head. "You're pathetic. You always have to be in control." "I have to be in control of my house because no one else is paying for it." She was breathing hard now. "Fine," she said. "We'll go to Mom's. She'll love to hear about this." "Great," I said. "I'll send her the same list." She grabbed her purse and stomped off. "Leo, get your shoes." Leo looked at me, eyes shiny. "Can I take the dinosaur cake?" "Yes," I said softly. "Please do." He picked up the lumpy dinosaur, carefully tongue poking out with focus. He whispered, "Sorry, Auntie." That almost broke me, but it didn't change the facts. Jess turned at the door. "You're going to regret this." "Maybe," I said, "but I regret letting it go on this long." They left with half the guests. The rest trickled out muttering. Talia shook her head dramatically and said, "Wow," like she was auditioning for a show. When the gate clicked shut, the yard was a mess of paper plates and trampled chips. The bounce house guy came and rolled up the sadness. I stood there in my normal clothes, the clown wig in a plastic bag, and I felt like my heart was buzzing. I took out my phone. I texted Jess, "Tomorrow 10:00 a.m. we'll pack your room. I will change the locks after. Please arrange to pick up your stuff then." She read it. No reply. That night, Mom called. "What happened?" she asked, already upset. I told her. She sighed loudly. "You embarrassed your sister." "I enforced a boundary," I said. "There's a difference." "She's struggling," Mom said. "I am too," I said. "I just don't perform it in public." There was a long pause. "You didn't have to humiliate her," Mom said. "She laughed while her son humiliated me." I said, in front of 30 people in my home. Mom didn't like that answer. You've always been stubborn, she said. Your father was like that. Dad paid his bills. He also taught me not to let people walk over me. Silence. Fine, she said finally. Bring Leo's presents by tomorrow. I will, I said. At 10:00 a.m., Jess didn't show. At noon, she texted. We'll come later. At 2 p.m., I texted back, I have plans at 4. Come by 3 or we'll reschedule. At 3:15, she rolled up with Talia and another friend. They came in loud like nothing had changed. I kept it business. Boxes were ready. Trash bags for clothes. I labeled everything. I kept my mouth closed while they muttered under their breath. A dictator, Talia said. I ignored her. Jess tried to take my blender. That's mine, I said. It lived in my room, she said. It lives in my kitchen, I said, and took it back. Leo was quiet and serious, helping pack his dinosaur shirts. He looked small. I knelt and handed him a little bag. This is your present, I said. Open it later. Inside was a book about drawing. I wrote to Leo from Auntie who believes you can choose kind words. Jess signed something acknowledging she picked up her things. I asked for the keys. She dropped them into my palm like a challenge. They were sweaty. You're heartless, she said. I have a mortgage and a heart. After they left, I changed the locks. I had made the appointment last week for a different reason. My front door was sticky, but it felt symbolic. The locksmith smelled like aftershave and said, rough day. I said, long year. He laughed softly and got to work. That evening, I took a shower with no one knocking for towels. I ate leftover hot dogs at the counter and stared at the quiet. It was so quiet it felt wrong. I put the clown wig in a bin and labeled it work. Not costume. Not embarrassment. My group chat lit up. Cousin Lena heard about the party. Yikes. Aunt Deb. Family first. I sent screenshots of payments and bills. I wrote, family doesn't mean free. Half the chat went silent. A couple of cousins DM'd me, proud of you. One said, I wish I had the guts. Jess posted a vague status about toxic people. I didn't respond. I muted her for 30 days because I didn't need to read the comments from her friends. A week later, Leo called from Mom's. Hi, he said. I read the book. He said he liked the part where the boy drew a ladder to climb out. Can we draw when I visit? Yeah, I said, when your mom and I have a plan. Jess texted 2 weeks later. Can we come back just for a month? I'll pay this time. I stared at the screen. Old me would have said yes, and then resented it. New me typed, we can talk about a lease, first month plus deposit, and a written agreement on chores and utilities. No guests without asking, no borrowing my car rent due on the first. If you miss, you move out. No exceptions. She wrote back, wow, you're really doing this. Yes, I wrote, because I love you and because I love myself. She sent a thumbs down and didn't reply again. I still do the clown gigs. I show up on time. I make balloon swords. I laugh with kids. I get paid before I put on the wig. Not because I'm cold, but because I respect my work and my bills. The moral, if people laugh while you're being disrespected, they're not your people. Family without respect is just a mess with shared groceries. Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors with locks you control. I told my sister I didn't want non-payers in my house. I meant it. And when I turned the new key, it felt like being an adult. Not cruel, just